So here we go, South Sydney and Manly, the third game of the pre-season challenge, live here on Fox League. And it's the South Sydney Rabbitohs, of course, coming off yet another preliminary final, 5 in a row. The first one of those, their coach was Anthony Seibold. Now he's, of course, coaching the men from Manly. That's Michael Cheekham. And Harme Sele, he's been most impressive as he continues his rise in the NRL. Mamazelos, 5 first-grade games. Jacob Host, good to see him come back. Had a nasty injury midway through last year that ended his 2022. This is Tallis Duncan. There's Jacob captaining the side tonight. Tallis Duncan in the headgear. We told you last year when he played in one of these games, he is indeed named after Gordon. That is a fact. So his dad, massive Gordon Tallis fan. You know where? Guess where they're from, Braith, the Duncan family.
Tell me where.
Wollongong.
Wollongong.
Massive Tallis fans down there. So South get through their first set. Manly Seagulls, we know it was a pretty miserable end of their 2022. Jackson Ferris fashioning a pass. That's Toff Sipley, the most experienced of the Manly players in the side tonight. Cooper Johns at dummy half. Ethan Bullimore tasted a fair bit of first grade last year in his first year at Manly. Number 9 is Gordon Chan Kum Tong, highly regarded, described as a Jeff Tuvey type in the energy that he brings. The 14, Harrison Wilson putting up the kick, and that's a very good catch. That's the number 20, Tom Carr, coming into the starting side. Personal trainer by day, Tom Carr.
A good carry here, Richie Kenner showing his experience, getting the side on the front foot. Keep an eye out for the dummy half from South Sydney with the footy now. Peter Mamazoulis, very crafty. He's had a number of games now when Damien Cook's been absent from the South Sydney side and shown great promise out of acting half.
The halfback for South tonight, Jarrett Sablu, had a taste of first grade, very brief taste for Canberra in 2020. Ramazelos now onto that man Sablu, looking that into the corner. And the fullback, Jake Toby, he's actually normally a halfback in the lower grades. Once scored 4 tries against West's Tigers. Now, a lot of these players tonight are playing for bigger stakes, training trials and looking to sneak into the top 30 or get themselves a development contract. This man is well entrenched now in the top 30. Christian Tuipulotu turns 22 next week. Ben Trebojevic.
Yeah, clearly really starting to grow into his body, Ben Trebojevic. A strong carry down that right edge. Looks like he's added a lot of muscle over the summer. Some real good bump in that previous carry.
So this is one of these wobbling kicks. That might be quite the test. In fact, almost Falcons. Malo Vega is now, he is tapped in and away, and that's an impressive moment from him. So South now, full set inside Manly territory. Josiah Karapani, the man in 3. As they're just happy to punch it up now to the 30, the Bunnies. Davey Moale in the 10. Comes across here to Host. The inside pass from Tyapa. Now Mamazelos getting it on to Duncan. Duncan rides the heavy bump and gets away from Fainu. So only 5 metres out here. This the last tackle. Mamazelos. And it comes now. Tyapa pokes in the kick. Good chase. Oh, it's a try. It's a try to Tom Carr. And a lovely moment for Tom Carr, who scores the first try. Nice kick, nice chase, nice put down. Good stuff from the young bunnies.
Yeah, big raps on Tyapa, and it's a nice play. Good finish. Goes to the line on the outside of the right boot and curls it around into the corner. And that's where it started. Blake Taff, great kick return coming off that right foot 3 times, slicing and dicing through the Manly defensive line, and Manly a little lacklustre getting off their line. Some space in behind Tuipulotu, and Tom Carr gets the footy down, gets South Sydney on the board. Great start. Nice touch there from Tyapa.
We've seen him on the Fox cameras before, Tom Carr, in North Sydney. Well, in North Sydney colours, yes. That's the feeder club for the, or was the feeder club for the Sydney Roosters. So we saw him play for the Roosters in one of these trials, but there he is in red and green, and pretty happy, and why not? So all off that bomb, which got the bounce, which favoured Blake Taaffe, and that's an impressive stat there. 22 in 23 for the Bears.
He took a superb take earlier in the night as well. First couple of sets, there was a really good bomb down that right-hand side from the Seagulls, and he flew above the pack to take it, so he's come out with plenty of confidence, Carr, after a good pre-season and an opportunity tonight. He takes his first chance. Manly, it's a warm night here, Dan, isn't it? And you can see already with back-to-back sets.
Look at that shot.
They're feeling the effects physically.
Postcard stuff.
Yeah, what a shot that is.
Not a bad kick. He's deliberately struck it low, strokes it through. Blake Taaffe. Well, that's a terrific start from him. It's a big night for Blake Taaffe. South Sydney 6-0 after 6 minutes. And as we watch the replay, we say hello to Jake Duke on the sideline.
Good evening, gentlemen. What an evening here on the Central Coast as we celebrate the return of Rugby League for season 2023. Conditions, a slight breeze favouring the Rabbitohs here in the first half. It is hot down here on the sideline, as you mentioned as well, guys, but there is a lot of subs, unlimited interchanges tonight for these teams as they get a feel for the new season and get ready with kickoff only a couple of weeks away. We can't wait.
No, we can't, Jake. Gee, it's a good crowd every time we have one of these wide shots. I mean, no one's under any illusion what week one of the trials are, but they've turned up. They've seen some good footy. Beers flowing downstairs. The chips smell great. It's a good football night here on the Central Coast. That's come out and a knock on. So Cheekham ruled to have lost that ball legally. Simply involved in the tackle, and we'll see Manly go on the attack for the first time.
Yeah, be disappointed with that. They're going to challenge it by the looks of things, South Sydney.
Of course, if this is the first trial you're watching this weekend, the video ref is in play, so nothing really changes there from what you're used to.
Hand just starting to come out now from Toff Sipley, and
I think they might get this, Mick. What do you think?
well, he's trying to get his hand out.
Just looking to see if there's any stripping action from Manly.
Doesn't look
No,
like
you're right. That's the South hand. Cheekham.
Look at Toff Sipley's hand. It just moves. It doesn't change in a stripping motion.
The Manly hand is affecting a tackle and it's facing away from the ball.
Yeah.
As the ball comes out, there's no intent to strip from Manly. The challenge is unsuccessful.
There you go. So on one angle, it did look like it may have been a strip, but it was the angle of Cheekham's hand. Todd Smith back for another season in the NRL.
Yeah, a chance for the Manly players who were starting to struggle physically just to catch their breath with that replay, and an opportunity now entrenched in South Sydney's half to hit back. Cooper Johns to feed the scrum. He's come from the Melbourne Storm in the number 6 tonight, previously with a mortgage on it from Kieran Four, and a real vacancy there, a chance to impress.
And it goes to Jackson Ferris, and another offload. That helps. So they get to the 10 offloads. That's a bonus point. He's got 2 of them on his own. We'll explain those rules in a moment once Manly get through this. Ben Condon, a former Cowboy. Still just 22 years of age and a 3-year deal here at the Seagulls. Johns, a little goose step. Now it comes on as Harrison Wilson sends it across. Manly on the 10-metre line, played by Fainu. Johns back infield to Bullimore. The South there in numbers. Zelos and Sele with the tackle. 2 remain here for Manly. Oh, lovely floating pass. Work to do for Tuivasa Mahiga, and he gets there. That's a nice bit of sleight of hand from Cooper Johns. South Sydney say, please send it upstairs. They will look at this in the bunker, but for now, it's a hit-back try for Manly.
Yeah, really nice work. First time down on South Sydney's line, attacking, and it's Cooper Johns demanding the football. Shows underneath. and drags up that right edge defence of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and a lovely floating pass over the top. Summed it up beautifully, Cooper Johns. And a great finish there. Does he stay in? The defence coming across? Absolutely he does. Nice work there. Tuimalo Vega goes over in the corner. And Cooper Johns, what a start it's been from him.
Yeah.
Coming out of a great system. He was patient for a long time at the Melbourne Storm, sitting behind Jerome Hughes. He was there. Cameron Munster, he took his chances when they came. And an opportunity over the summer to come to the Manly Seagulls, you said, Dan, where he spent his childhood growing up, back closer to family, and he is out there tonight with a real point to prove it. It's a great start.
Well, he would obviously fill in for a star when he came in at Melbourne, whether it was Munster, whether it was Hughes. His record was actually pretty good, certainly a winning record as a Storm player, and he was always a starting half. So he's done some very nice things at the top level.
When you're in such a good system like the Melbourne Storm, your learnings are enormous as a young man. And as I said, he was patient, spent a long time there watching, listening, learning, taking his chances. As you mentioned, his record's good. And a real opportunity to establish himself at Manly as he moves in.
So Taff kicked one from the sideline. Johns can't reply, but they do get a try on the board, Manly. 6 points to 4 to the Rabbitohs. Jake Duke.
Yeah, Cooper Johns, 23 years old, 11 first-grade games for Melbourne over 3 years. And you mentioned, guys, the fact that he's moved into this Manly system now, when with Kieran Foran moving on, that leaves Daly Cherry-Evans and Josh Schuster to be the first-choice halves, you would think, for the Seagulls. But Cooper Johns, he will be the next man up if there's any injuries. He, especially with Jamie Humphries, the young star, another half in the Seagull system, suffered a broken jaw at training this week, and he is looking at 8 weeks on the sideline out. So Cooper Johns, he could be the man moving into the Seagulls side if there is any issues in those halves.
That's it, yeah. Thank you, Jake. So Manly scoring, South Sydney with a try, 2 in the first 9 minutes. Christian Tuipolotu won a spot
Strong again.
round number 5 and kept it ever since last year. It looks like he's put on some bulk too. Oh, here's Ben Trbojevic. And, oh, that's come out. That's a penalty. He was looking for the quick play of the ball.
On the legs and you flopped on.
And Sellet, not subtle enough.
Really nice work out of dummy half from Chan Kum Tong. And he just found Trbojevic with really good leg speed and athleticism to get in behind the ruck, create the momentum. And just too much work in the tackle there from Sellet. Manly now, another good opportunity inside South Sydney's half.
Simply well handled here. Comes from Johns to Condon. Didn't play first grade last year. He's played 12 first grade games. Oh, that's an interesting call from Todd Smith as Condon puts up his hand to admit fault. But that's an opportunity gone.
Yeah, good contact over the top cheek ham.
Yeah, it probably was forward. It was a poor pass one way or the other.
There's been a couple already from Manly where they're just desperate to offload the footy, aren't they? We've seen it with Ferris. Look at that.
I tell you what, that's rivaling Adelaide Oval during the cricket, or Perth. That Perth sunset last week went longer than a Top Gun sunset. I tell you what, Gosford gives it a run for its money. Davey Moale, geez, they expect big things from this young man. He's steadily risen, played a bunch of games last year in the top grade. Rame Sellet driving the legs beyond the 40. Fainu's in no hurry to let that play the ball happen quickly. So inside the 30 on tackle number 4, Karapani. Electric footwork if he gets in the clear. Tallis Duncan straight and hard. On the last, oh, the front rower. Sellet's got it first. Now the little grubber.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant stuff for Tyapa, all on his own, deliberately into the post, and what a clean pickup. Are we at the trials or at the nines, Mick Ennis? The tries are just flowing.
Yeah, well, a breakdown in communication, but it's worked out perfectly. Now, Mazelis there, he finds Hame Sele on the last, quickly gets the ball to Dion Tyapa. He sums it up beautifully, aims it at the near post, slams it into the pad. Bounced beautifully back into his arm. Great instinctive play there. And there would be one Cody Walker sitting back, the number 6 from South Sydney, absolutely loving what his young teammates doing there. Great instinct, great kick, and the right boot of Tyapa causing headaches at the moment for the Seagulls.
Balmain Jr., who played flag last year. What a classy try. So we've had 14 points in 12.5 minutes. Well, the rules are 5 tries gets you a bonus point, 5 line breaks gets you a bonus point. Now you'd figure if you score 5 tries, there's a fair chance you're going to have got to the 5 line breaks. 10 offloads is the other bonus point as well. Nice kick there from Taff. Dion Tyapa with the excellent try. So there's no doubt he was going for that post, Mick. Surely.
Aimed it at it, there's no doubt about it. He saw the defenders either side and his eyes were just beaming on that near upright, and he landed it absolutely perfectly, and he's full of confidence.
So that's the standard points on offer, 12, 6 and 0, but then there's 3 extras. So the Warriors got 2, Cronulla got 2, so they're both on 14. There you go, 5 tries gets a point, and 5 line breaks gets a point. The 10 offloads, that might be the challenging one. Good system, Mick, because it should get us a clear winner. And then obviously if we have ties, and every chance we're going to have ties, because there's only 2 games each, of course, then it'll come down to for and against. Brisbane, have you seen the team they've put up, mate?
Yeah.
They might be a chance to do something in this little tournament. That's a knock-on from Sablou. So Manly now get a chance. South get a chance and score. Manly up the other end. South return serve, and now Manly can get their second try.
And you can see there just the sweat pouring off young Jared Sablou, and humid conditions, hot conditions here on the Central Coast this evening, and ball starting to get a little greasy, plenty of sweat on it at this time of year, and just hard to handle.
We might be in God's country, but I tell you what, those palm trees aren't moving much at the southern end. If the sauce bottles are up, they'd be standing upright, not moving an inch. It's quite steamy here.
He looks a prospect, young Fainu.
Yep.
He is big and athletic out on this left-hand side. I understand he's had a great pre-season over on the Northern Beaches, and
They told us he was an Olakau'atu type.
yeah,
It's not a bad rap.
yeah.
So Ben Trebojevic, 6 more tackles, so he's doing some good work with his hit-ups. That's the second South error he's gained out of them. Bullimore backslammed on the 10. Chen Kum Tong on to Johns. Away now for Condon. Wrapped up by Chikam and Mamazelos in front of the posts. Chen Kum Tong back for Sipley. One out as he slipped past Duncan, but not past Moale. Now back to the right side. The double pump. Oh, Ben Trebojevic, soft hands. Tuapolotu over, but some wonderful desperation, particularly from host, with the help of Tyapa as well.
Yeah, just look at the desperation here. It's great catch and pass and skill under pressure from Ben Trebojevic. And Tuapolotu burrows low. He steamrolled a number of people in this position last year. Hard to handle close to the line. And that was great desperation defence from South Sydney.
Saving grace for Manly. They still had tackles left, so that's the 5th and now the last. John set up the last try. He gets it on here to Jake Toby, who goes to ground. And obviously, we're going to see a fair bit of this. The last tackle, not quite as crisp as it could be.
I don't mind that option. Just Cooper Johns chancing his arm to run the footy on the last, often catch opposition teams unaware, and that time they handle it well. South, Kenner now carrying the ball hard. He's been good early.
Entertaining game, this.
Yeah. Look at the outside backs. This is where South Sydney are really going to work.
What a party there. strong unit. That was a good hit. That was Ethan Bullimore, the former Bronco, putting it on the first try scorer, Tom Carr. And there's the South Sydney bench. They've named 24 players. Manly only 21. 2 players pulling out. You talked about Jamie Humphries, the halfback. And they lost Dean Madison, brother of Ryan. So
yeah, just keep an eye as we have a look at this. The Manly bench, Brett Stewart, one of Manly's finest fullbacks there. He's on the headset tonight for the Seagulls, part of the coaching staff. But just watching South Sydney's yardage sets, not a lot's changed. They are one of the most conservative yardage teams in the competition, yet effective. You could throw a blanket over them at times. They're that bunched around the ruck, but power forwards, power outside backs, just keeping it simple and getting it down the other end.
Toby's hit up here by a good strong run from Bullimore, 4 needed. Good set there. Oh, we've got a limping player for South Sydney.
Yeah, it looks like Harmacello, which could be a real concern.
This is the danger of this period as he continues to hobble off. Jake will be all over that. He comes off now. And we're still, what, 20 days away from the first round. That might be maybe the end of his night, one way or the other.
Okay, Gordon, the ball. Hold it. Wait. Go 3. We're tough.
Oh, good contact there underneath. That's really good work there. Harrod and Wilson underneath for Boyovich over the top.
Yeah, Wilson. That was Jake style technique. So last tackle with 18 minutes gone in this game. Here's Jake Toby.
Jeez, look at him move. Really quick.
He's keen.
The grass, yeah.
He's keen. Good line, though, from South. So Louis Grossmy, Frenchie, he comes in. We're going to see a lot of players over these 2 weeks that names mightn't be familiar with, but have played or did play at the World Cup only 3 months ago. So they've had some experience in big games. Off Sipley there. Wants a piece of it. So the leader tonight in the forward pack, no question. In the NRL since 2016. We've settled down here in Gosford after that frenetic opening. Taff. What to like about his early involvements in this game. And good chase. Fletcher Myers, the number 4 for Manly there, and follows up. They can't prevent the offload. Jacob Gagai, brother of Dane. Lovely, lightning quick play the ball. Taff gallivanting. Good stuff from South out the back.
Yeah, outside backs linking up, combining. Now Karapani through the middle of the field. Great footwork there. Now South with an opportunity inside Manly's half and a set restart. That'll help.
That's their first. They conceded one earlier. That's the second set restart. Duncan. Driven back by Ben Trebojevic and Ben Condon. So David Noale. Just happy to go one out here. So many tackles to work with. Comes across here. Tyapa, and now Carr in the clear. Basketballs are back on the inside. Well, who is this young man? Tyapa, that's who. He's got his second try. And South Sydney balloon out to a 16-4 lead.
Well, this beautiful left edge of South Sydney that we've just marvelled at for a number of seasons. Well, tonight they've some stars that aren't there. Cody Walker, Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell, but have a look at this. It's Sablu that goes into the line, and then Tyapa across, scheming, beautiful hands there. Taff over to Carr, sums it up beautifully, pushing back on the inside. It's Tyapa, and he is having a night out, the young man. Balmain Jr., now in the South Sydney system, and he is playing with some confidence. He looks fit, he's fast, and his decision-making on the edge has been superb.
Warringah Lion, he's a local. He's still eligible for flag. Well, it's a bit better than flag.
He's making a name for himself tonight, and that's the great thing about this time of the year and the coverage on Fox League, giving these youngsters an opportunity to become household names, to chase their dreams. And on the big stage under the bright lights, he looks right at home, Tyapa.
So 3 tries. They could have this first bonus point wrapped up by half time. And 3 from 3 for Blake Taff. South Sydney coasting at the moment, down to Jake Duke.
Dion Tyapa, what a start to his season. He set up the first try with a deft little kick out to that left wing. Then he produces this for himself, a simple bit of individual brilliance. And then another try here, his second try of the evening, a rising young star. He's progressed through the grades from 15 years old at the Bunnies to get his first pre-season training squad with the NRL this off-season. So he might be a guy we're seeing plenty more of in the future. And just a look ahead to tomorrow night, guys, the league continues on Fox League. Panthers, Eels up first. The pre-season challenge continues from 6 p.m. and then 8 p.m. Super League champions St Helens take on the Dragons. The only place to see it is on Fox League.
That's probably the most fascinating part of the opening fortnight, Mick, is looking at St Helens. We've got some good games, obviously the All-Stars. But St Helens tomorrow, and then the World Club Challenge against Penrith. And we'll see where they are. And geez, I'll tell you what, every time I've heard a Panthers person talk the last couple of weeks, they're desperate to win that trophy. Haven't done it before. So they've presented a team tomorrow that says they're going to be pretty much full strength next week. Anyway, we've got a fair bit of football before then. So Blue with the kick here for South. Oh, put down by Toby, and now South are away. Unfortunate for the Manly fullback. He's been good.
Look who was there, Tyapa. Swooped straight on it, looking for another try.
G-Ken.
Let him up. 1 foot on the line. Wait.
The number 17 for the red and green, Louis Grossmy. That's Taff, and almost for Blake Taff. Almost. He fashions that pass, which is called forward. Tom Carr denied his second try. They blow that one, South Sydney. Their control has been excellent, but not this time.
Not much in it at all. Only a fraction forward. Great skill under pressure from Taff to get rid of the ball. No surprise that Mamazelos continues to go to that left-hand side with Tyapa. He's got the Midas touch at the moment, the young man.
So there's about 3 Manly players here tonight that you would say would pretty comfortably be in their best 17. Tui Polotu, Toff Sipley, Ben Trebojevic. But the other stars not here tonight. Tom Trebojevic, obviously. Schuster, Cherry Evans. Player of the Year, Croker. Olakawatu. Kilmatualungi, one of the new guys.
Really strong run from Viliami Fafita, who's come onto the field.
Now, he's one they've got their eye on. And that's a good follow-up from Bullimore. Aaron Wilson.
Yeah, not a good end to set there.
Oh, Taff there. That was Fletcher. Moyes rushing up and the ball comes out. The ball comes out. And it's fallen on by Tuimalo Maiga. It's going up as no try, but it'll come down to the bunker.
Yeah, I think this will be a one-on-one strip that goes forward.
No try. Just confirm when Manly strip the ball that they knock it on. Also need to check that it was only one-on-one, and then it was a push on the way through to the grounding.
So a bit to look at here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be confident if I was a Manly fan here, but let's see what has happened.
It's
There's a stripping action from Manly. Just need to make sure that there's only one person in the tackle in the direction of the ball.
Yeah, I think the ball's out there before.
At the point of the strip, there's only one in the tackle, and the ball goes forward, which is a knock-on. We have a decision.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked
Going to be your scrum, South.
pretty straightforward, didn't it?
Where are you on the scrum?
So tries
Scrum's in the middle.
for Tom Carr and a double for Dion Tyapa. And there's Daly Cherry Evans back from the World Cup. And now they love him here. They love him, the South fans. Look at him. Standing ovation stuff.
Scrum in, heads down. Okay, ball in.
We'll be back round one. They take on Canterbury. As we go down to Jake Duke.
Bit of concern for South Sydney, guys. We saw Hame Sele limp off. It's been confirmed a calf injury. He will not be back tonight, but concerning considering start of the season only a couple of weeks away, and you'd imagine he would be in the middle for South Sydney in that game.
And they've got, thank you, Jake, so it's not good news, a ripping start in terms of games that are of huge entertainment value, but they are very, very tough. Cronulla at Shark Park, Penrith at Penrith. Well, that's the toughest assignment in the game right now, and then the Roosters. So they need all hands on deck early. They don't want to have another season where they're playing catch-up.
Well, as we come to the last tackle here, I'll be hoping that some of their stars get through tomorrow night, Dan.
So Blues kick has Toby coming forward. He's put another one down. That's gone backwards. But that's a penalty. South's offside. Oh, he dodges a bullet there, young Toby.
Yeah, it's a couple of times he's left the ground to come down with the bomb and spilt the ball. And a number of players there from South Sydney offside on the inside. You can see on the replay there, and luckily for young Jake Toby.
Geez, if you look at Jacob Gagai and you said, whose brother is that? I reckon most people watching you on Fox League would pick it up pretty quickly. 26 years of age. We saw him in these games last year. This is Zach Fulton, one of the great stories out of Manly last year. Signed a 2-year deal over the off-season, so we should see lots more of him at the top level. Bullimore's been strong.
Yeah, he has been busy too, getting through a mountain of work.
Chen Kum Tong getting it on here. And there's another one that was impressed. Fafita only just come into the game, but 2 incisive runs. 20-metre line just in front of Chen Kum Tong as it comes now for Johns. There's the kick from Toby, and Ronaldo Vaiga couldn't do much with that.
Yeah, not sure that was the option there from young Jake Toby. Certainly didn't get the execution of it right. Keno was caught up in field, but Blake Taff, great positioning. He was all over it, and a relatively easy turnover there for South now as they work it away from their own line.
I guess that'd be the danger, wouldn't it, Mick, for a young player on a stage like this, making an error or two and thinking, I've got to make up for it, I've got to make up for it.
Yeah, and even just coming into this type of environment, feeling like you've got to do something to get noticed. And sometimes you can certainly overplay your hand and have moments like we just saw there from Jake Toby. But on the other hand, you're looking at someone like Dion Tyapa, who has been an absolute star in the opening first half here for South Sydney. He has been brilliant, the South Sydney 5'8". 2 tries, he set up another as he launches the ball now into the air.
Plenty of distance on that time, Toby. Time to set himself. No need to leave the ground. Cheekham with a good one-on-one tackle. And Manly's try to Ronaldo Vaiga. That left it at 6-4, but then Teapa's double gives South this cosy lead. Tuipulotu. Meters not as easy for Manly as perhaps they are for South at the moment. Trbojevic.
It's noticeable, Dan, the size that he's put on over the summer.
That is 3 times he's hit it up and got something out of it.
Yeah.
Either A penalty, a set restart. In fact, that's the second penalty.
But I think it's the first time when we've watched Ben play over the last 2 years, he's still just had that baby face and that baby body about him. Even though he was big and raw and athletic, now he's really starting to fill out, and he's a handful. He's been a real handful on that right edge.
Most of his football at this level, as limited as it is, has been back row. Can play centre, certainly has been able to in the past. Oh, it's Jacob Sykes, the man in the beard in 18. They've had success down this side, not on this occasion, with Wilson going to ground. Sharp play the ball, John's dummy half, Toby gets it on, here's a chance, Myers to Arlo Vaiga, all muscle, and he gets his second if he's grounded it.
Okay, Bucky, coming out of tackle 4. Have no try. Just confirm there's no grounding.
No, I'm really intrigued to see this replay. I thought he may have slammed it down. Did well to him of Marlo Vaiga. Yeah, absolutely he gets it down. Now, do those feet stay
See if
in?
there's any grounding from the Manly winger.
Gee, I tell you,
I'm happy with that.
I think so too, but you can see why they're going up.
It starts to come out, but it never leaves the hand. Ball's on top, weight's on top.
There's no clear separation from the ball.
Yes.
His hand remains on the ball at all times.
Yes,
Sitting
that's
ground
great
the ball.
job.
We have a decision.
That's good. Nice and decisive, Nick, as well. Was it 2 or
They were
3?
good last night too.
Yeah.
Very good. And again, it's on the back of a penalty that they've earned through the run of Ben Trebojevic. He's been great out on that far side of the field, and they're really liking their opportunities against South City's right, aren't they?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mick, because these games, there's so many players coming in and out.
Sorry, just look at the work here. See Toby, now that's a sign of a quality player. Came up with a poor play the previous set, didn't go right for the young man, hasn't shied away from the contest. Still back scheming, looking for opportunities, getting his hands on the footy, did well. Nice work from him, skipping across some defenders, got the ball nicely to Fletcher Myers.
He's shown some nice touches, Myers.
Yeah, he has.
I was about to say, you get some wild swings in these games because, you know,
Yeah.
you sometimes get a whole new squad come on after half-time, so you never write a team off.
Players unconditioned as well, so when big blocks of possession don't fall your way.
So this is where John's missed his first one. That one,
That's nice.
that's much better. So he learned from the first kick, and he's pretty happy with that. And why not? He's had a good first half, 18 points to 10. So we've had now 5 tries in this opening half, as we once again drink in this Manly second try.
Yeah, to see there, his ability to skip across and get the attention of the right centre, Gagai to jam in. And then Tuimalo Vega, just too strong and powerful close to the line. Didn't hesitate, did he? Just got his body positioned forward and accelerated nice and low. He was confident.
Isn't it good to have footy back?
Oh,
Nick? How good to have these games on camera as well. I mean, we're playing trials for 100 years, but there's a trophy at the end of it and 100 grand. And
He's made a real difference. Very, very good start from Viliami for Feeder since coming onto the field.
he's in their development squad. He's 22.
Big, athletic and powerful. Accelerates into contact. He looks like a real smoky. Chankum Tong out of dummy half.
It's a nice run almost. He does get under Jacob Host. This is a great run. He's gone 20 metres. So now Manly all of a sudden with the momentum.
That restart had to be.
There it is. You get your call, Mick. As Harrison Wilson goes to ground. Toby in a dummy half. Ben Trebojevic. 4 needed to put him down. And this is a rarity. He has to play the ball. Normally he gets a penalty or some other offence against him. Here's a good run from Fainu. He's looked good too. Samuela Fainu, 19-year-old. Here's Manly, 10 metres out with a few tackles to work with. Fulton keeps it alive. Now here's Trebojevic with a 3-on-2. They slide across though. Handy tackle, Karapani. And now almost getting there is Jake Toby. Reaches out and gets there. Well done, young man. He's been desperate to atone for an error or two. And he's had an excellent last few sets.
Yeah, nervous start from Toby. Dropped a couple of high bombs and then on the previous try, did a really good job down the short side. And this time, it was Chan Kum Tong that started it out of dummy half. Robust, bumping, scooming, getting underneath defenders, palming off others. And a 40-metre dash upfield, Ernie side a set restart, and then a good play the ball again on the back of Ben Trebojevic. And it was Toby out of dummy half. Launches into contact, spins out of 3 defenders, shows great strength, young Jake Toby. And former Blacktown Workers New South Wales Cup Player of the Year last year. And he's had some really nice moments to get Manly back into the game.
Spent some time with the NRL squad just prior to Christmas, so he's done some good things here tonight. 18-14. They're both going to get a point here, Mick. I don't know the way this is going. 6 to go in the first half. Oh, no good, and you can hear the steel work being struck. So 3 tries apiece, but South Sydney in the lead. Jake Duke, down to you once again.
Good moment for young Jake Toby. He was the New South Wales Cup Players Player for the Blacktown Workers last year and was invited for his first pre-season. He gets an opportunity and fixes up a few errors to score a try for the Seagulls. But of course, that #1 jersey is owned by Tommy Trebojevic. He's in the crowd here tonight. They say he is on track for a round 1 return after that hamstring injury in the pre-season and only managing 7 games last year after that shoulder injury as well. We can't wait to see Tommy Turbo back. Of course, we'll see a few more stars in action tomorrow as well. The All-Stars begins. First up, it's the Māori Ferns versus the Women's Indigenous All-Stars team. Then at 3:45, it's the New Zealand Māori Kiwis up against the Indigenous All-Stars. What a weekend of footy on Fox League, guys.
That's it. And then a couple of NRL trials after that. Penrith and Parramatta, the one at 6 o'clock. There he goes, Tom, from his American stint. And Fafita gets a penalty.
No, not quick on 10 metres.
Yeah, it's been the injection of some of the bench players, in particular Fafita, that's really starting to wreak some havoc. Big block of possession, as I said, Dan, and unconditioned players at the moment. Their first hit out for the year. Warm conditions up here on the Central Coast. Great kick here from Johns downfield. 40 metres downfield, and now Manly again entrenched in South Sydney's half.
Well, they're looking for their 3rd try in the space of about 6 minutes. Jacob Sykes. He's the man in 18. Mungindi, right on the New South Wales-Queensland border. Chan Kum Tong. Onto Johns. Keeps it going. And there's a wall of South Sydney defenders. The 24 for South is Brock Gray. The feet of the man brought down. Johns runs into a cul-de-sac but doesn't panic. He's in no hurry to let him play it as Trebojevic picks it up. And Kuntom now away for Wilson. And that's a well-read play, that, as Fainu put on his back. Back for Johns, kicking before the last. Good chase by Fulton, and it's a try. And Manly do score 3 tries in 5 minutes. And the game has taken a big turn.
Yeah, nice moment there from young Fulton. He's a great competitor. We saw that last year on debut. He's come onto the field as well off the bench, making an enormous impact. And it's Johns, the right foot of Johns again. Great kick in behind the line. Blake Taff came across, but Fulton just there. He got the bounce right, just wanted it more. There it is, right into the lap of young Zach Fulton under the post. And Cooper Johns also making a statement in this first half.
2nd try assist for him.
Yeah, well-weighted kick. Really well-weighted kick. Taff was caught at the ruck on the play. The ball did a good job to get himself back into position, but just not enough.
So Zach Fulton, 21 years of age, and he's in the full-time squad now. There's the dramas that they had last year that opened the door, and he's certainly impressed with his 28-minute debut against the Roosters. About the only thing Johns hasn't got right is goal kicking, but everything else he's been right on the money. Oof, gets it. And Manly, for the first time, have the lead. With 2.5 to go in this first half.
He's having some fun out there, Cooper Johns. This was his first try assist, summed it up beautifully. Manly's first attacking set down on South Sydney's line. And recognising that right edge, jamming infield, lovely ball over the top, and now they get Manly back in front. It's Cooper Johns with that beautiful little right foot grubber in behind the line, a congested line, got it perfect, got the weight perfect, and having a good first half, Cooper Johns.
Stay on.
Looks comfortable, doesn't he, in the Manly colours?
We might hear from him in about 2.5 minutes with Jake, and Fafita hitting it up. Yeah, it must be good. We know we talk about the players, you know, with the chance, like Fafita, a chance to shine, but first game, Nick, you know, the long pre-season, and to finally shake off the cobwebs. Well, frankly, hit some people. Tui Pilotu. You know, 4 tries to 3. 5 gets a bonus point.
Still going, Tui Pilotu. Look at the leg.
Well, that is
young man.
Superb run. 4 line breaks for Manly, so they've almost got that point there wrapped up. Here's a nice little run from Toby. Boy, oh boy, he's come alive. Now, Johns. Now, it's not the kick he had in mind, but it still might be a test. Oh, lovely soccer skills here from Tui Pilotu, but even better skills from Taff.
Yeah, not the kick or the execution there that Johns would have liked. Reasonably shallow, but it was Ferris that turned it into something. And then Blake Taff just swooping.
Now, if you're busy on the remote tonight, you might have missed Hame Sele, South Sydney front rower, injured, calf injury. So that's something that will have South a little concerned. He hobbled off, and they are 3 weeks from their first game. The South Sydney Rabbitohs. In fact, 3 weeks and 1 day. It's a Saturday against Cronulla where they start their season. Taff, not much room to work with, and brilliantly done by Kenner. Well, not quite perfectly. Gee, almost did remarkably well to fashion it infield.
Okay, it's your play the ball when you want it.
30 seconds to go here, and you can see the sweat pouring off these players. I'm not sure how desperate anyone out there is to get play underway.
Just the toe of his boot leaning on the touchline.
When you're ready, player. Off you go. Play it. No tackles.
With his foot almost wearing one from host. So that was nothing short of entertaining. Good stuff. Week 1 of the pre-season. And it's Manly 20-18. 2 questions. Well, will they maintain the cohesion? That's a plus, but then will they have the engine, will they have the petrol in the engine, in the tank, to get through these 80 minutes? So, good test here for them as well as for South Sydney. That's Ben Condon. And Ethan Bullimore. Of course, unlimited interchange in this trial period. Maximum of 28 players in week 1 and a maximum of 26 players in week 2. Some of the squads have maxed out their 28, not these 2. That's a good run.
Yeah, I like the look of Faina. Yeah, big, athletic on that left-hand edge. The 2 back rowers for Manly have been superb this evening.
Doesn't Chan Kum Tong have a lovely ability just to bring big men onto the ball at pace?
Watched him play many years ago as a halfback for Westfield Sportside, back when there was a lot of focus on that schoolboy competition, and he was in a very good side, a great competitor, tough, loved to take the line on, and over the years he's developed himself into a dummy half at Manly, and he's looked very, very sharp tonight when he's had his chances. Todd Smith, the referee, a relieving penalty for South Sydney.
So we've seen here, once teams get back-to-back sets, they are very hard to stop tonight. South here will start on Manly's 40. So 4 line breaks for Manly. The magic number there is 5. Same as the tries. Offloads is what did Cronulla and New Zealand Warriors in their games. They got the 14 out of the 15 maximum points. Davey Mawale is 19-year-old. He represented the Cook Islands at the World Cup. Mamazelos, the Greek hooker. Tallis Duncan. Tyapa getting it on here to Ethan O'Neill, son of Julian. 10 metres away. Jacob Gagai at dummy half. Louis Grossamy, the Frenchie. 4 tackles gone. Condon there. Late to peel off. Too late to peel off. And almost a penalty too. But South here can reload. Boy, Tyapa, he actually has the Walker mannerisms, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. There's something good about him, isn't there?
Mamazelos. Morale steaming onto it. Too good. South back in front. They get their 4th try. And they get the first of this second half.
Yeah, just too much for the Manly side on the back of a penalty and then a set restart late in the tackle count. And out of dummy half, Mamazelos there finding a charging Davey Moala. And the Manly players appealing for an obstruction. He stops just before the line there. Tallis Duncan, does he make contact? It's Bullimore that throws his hands in the air. Hard to see. Well, I think Bullimore just comes in. I think that's a defensive decision.
I know they're looking at it, Mick, because we've got the referee's box next to us and they are staring at our TV. They've got one on their own. I don't know why they're looking at ours, but you heard it. They were very interested.
You watch the movements of Bullimore. There's Tallis Duncan.
He's looking at the South lead runner. At this point, he's in front of the ball and he stops the Manly defender from sliding across and has an effect on their defensive line. We have a decision.
Yeah, they're difficult ones, those. They're so close to the line, it all unfolds so quickly. And yeah, black and white, the way they saw it, the bunker, and unfortunately Tallis Duncan doomed to have obstructed Ethan Bullimore, and Manly find themselves with a penalty, and he's been good, this young man, Fletcher Myers, hasn't he? Had some nice involvements in the first half.
19-year-old, he came from Newcastle. It was a good tug of war between those two clubs, but Fletcher came down the M1. I should point out the bunker in full operation down in Everleigh tonight. We've just got the 2 refs here overlooking things. And nice. Beautiful one-on-one strip. They got that right, South. There's a nice moment for Tallis Duncan. And now Morale, the man denied. This is Grossmy. Bullimore, the tackler. Mamazelos exploring. Little loose. Moale holds onto it. Duncan. Taff, first receiver, puts it up. He's got Tui Pelotu backing back. That's good control from the red and greens as Tyapa first to meet the Manly winger.
This man had some nice touches, didn't he, at the back of the first half. Had a bumpy start to his night. Young Jake Toby, a couple of errors, and finished the half strongly, though, setting up a couple of tries, finding one himself. Little pocket dynamo, the fullback. Here's Trebojevic now.
Every run he's had tonight has had purpose. There's another.
Another fast play, the ball scattering the defenders.
This is Tui Pelotu. His 11th run, most of any of the Manly players. And some distance too. It's got some depth in it, that kick. This is Richie Kenner. Almost the Cinderella story. Came back last year for the prelim final. Unfortunate for South that Alex Johnston ruled out. Kenner scored and South had a nice lead, but the champs ran them down and ran away.
Yeah, nice low-risk ball movement there from South, just to shift deep inside their half to move the Manly defence around, and all of a sudden now they're starting to get some momentum with their carries.
O'Reilly. It's his 9th run. And pushed off here, but ref clears it. Taff again doing the kicking. And again, that's going to plug inside close to the line.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just magnificent. That is superb stuff. And Taff following through, takes the tap on. That is as good as most of the things you'll see throughout the year. Great skill.
Yeah, well, he's come to life, Blake Taff. Had some nice moments in the first half, but since being moved into the front line, into the halves position, showing his versatility. The kick, lovely tap back, and then following through on his own kick. Look at this, accelerates hard on the inside. Nice work there from Kenner to bat the ball back inside, and Taff right on the spot. He's enjoying it. But there's been a real energy shift with Blake Taff since being moved up into the forward line, into the halves for this second half.
Well, Kenner there, great work. And certainly no question it went back. They won't be taking that one off the Bunnies, and well, they do have the lead.
Yeah, well, at the halftime break, South Sydney coaching staff have looked like they've moved Terrell Carlo, who's come onto the field in jersey number 14 for South, back to fullback, and Blake Taff's gone up into the halves and dominating the kicking game to start the second half, and gets the rewards there. Good to see Blake Taff back with playing with some confidence. As we said, only used minimally last year. Cody Nicarima came, but Wayne Bennett found a real love for Blake Taff and used him and trusted him through that final series back in 2021 when South Sydney made the run towards the grand final. In fact, he played in the grand final, and he's back tonight at his best.
24 points to 20, 4 tries apiece. Back to you, Jake Duke.
Jason Demetrio is a fan of Blake Taff as well. He's declared in this preseason that he is ready to slot into that utility role that's been filled by Benji Marshall and Cody Nicarima in years gone by. He said he's probably been one of their best in the preseason so far. He's got some good versatility, and he's definitely shown that he needs to be in the NRL side every week. He's also off contract at season's end as well, so plenty to play for Blake Taff this year. Just a reminder, guys, as well, don't forget an exclusive pre-season challenge doubleheader tomorrow, live from 6 p.m. It's the reigning premiers at home, the Panthers up against the Eels, the grand final rematch, and then at 8 p.m, Super League champions St Helens take on the Dragons. The only place to see it, live on Fox League.
That'd be a pretty good day, that. After the All-Stars game, of course, and then some footy to come, plenty of it on Sunday. It was deep into the night with the Broncos and the Titans finishing things off. So South here, completion rate excellent. In fact, in these greasy conditions, excellent from both sides. 17 from 21 versus 19 from 22. Tyapa looking for depth again. Another South Sydney kick. Falls inside the Manly 10.
Yeah, well, possession all with South Sydney to start the second half, and you're right, there's no doubt a clear message down at halftime in these warm and hot conditions here on the Central Coast. Completion rate, possession is absolute king. South Sydney 5 from 6 sets. Start the second half. It's been a great start.
You might have noticed down in the corner where Vonnie and Gordy and Brandy are, you can see, you would have seen a breeze, but it's still steamy. And it is summer. A good test here. Oh, Fafita around the corner, almost connecting too with Harrod and Wilson. But now, here's Tom Carr down the middle and hard to put down. South start on the 30. Carlo. He is a natural fullback. That's why he's there. Well, he's chiming in a couple of dummy half touches. That's only tackle 2. Grossamy the dummy half. There's Tyapa. And cutting through, love it, but not through the clutches there. In the Manly defence, that was Looked like Toby as it comes in field. In fact, it was Fletcher Myers who made that previous tackle. So in front of the post here, Manly have handled this well so far. Duncan with the play the ball. There's the little kick. Not much of a chase coming through, but Toby takes no risks. And they'll get themselves the first line drop out of the night.
He is showing great composure, isn't he? Look at this. Dummy to kick back on the inside, held up the ball, waited for the perfect moment to kick. Young Dion Tyapa. What a night he's having. Beautifully weighted kick. As we see during that set, Mamazoulis coming from the field. He's succumbed to a cramp, and out there now for South Sydney at dummy half, Romano Cook.
We saw him in these games last year.
Yeah.
It's been all South since half-time, as it was really for pretty much most of the first half. Louis Grossamy by Johns, who looked down at his hand there, seems to be okay. Ethan O'Neill, Queensland Cup, Central Queensland Capra, second rower. Now it's a beautiful step by Duncan, but well handled. Chan Kum Tong with a big tackle, a needed tackle. Now the barge over attempt. That's tackle 5. 4 in the tackle. Poor Toby copped an accidental elbow on the head. Taff with the kick, and that, Toby, he wanted to let that go, but he couldn't. This is superb control from South.
Yeah, blowing up there. Blake Taff wanted the ball earlier during that set. Look at this, under pressure. Difficult to squeeze it through the traffic, through tight defenders there. Look at him here. Listen to me when I want the footy. That's great control there from Taff, showing his maturity, stepping up as a leader, challenging his teammates, wanting to make a difference on the contest.
Yeah, they're going to go, well, not so short. 30 metres, so didn't give the chasers any chance there. Not sure that was the plan.
On a night like this, in conditions like it is here at this time of the year, the way South have started the second half is absolute perfect. Starve the opposition of the footy, build pressure, get some repeat sets, and then all of a sudden the floodgates will open through fatigue.
75% of the ball, 70% of the territories. It's fired out to Duncan. On now to Tyapa. Oh, Carlo meets Christian Tui Pilotu. 10 metres out. Romano Cook. Into O'Neill. He was happy to punch through the sets here, South. They are showing great patience. There's the rebound off Trebojevic. Oh, not played at. Well done to Manly. There's some resilience.
Yeah, really good period there defensively for Manly. And again, just trying to feed the grubber through there, Tyapa. Short kicking game in the second half from both himself and Taff has been excellent. That time, Manly doing good. Trapping and scrapping, getting their feet in the way. As Tui Pilotu charges upfield, he's really starting to get those run metres up tonight. Tui Pilotu up to 130 metres, carrying the footy already.
There's Ben Trebojevic. Oh, Toby cut down. Good technique, Duncan down low. The help up top from Grossman. Sykes. Oh, Johns there, just getting that kick away. Kenner. South Sydney 7 from 8 completions, and they're going to be helped along here with a little leg pull. So another attacking set coming. It was 20-18 at half-time. Manly's way, but
yeah, they're winning the field position battle, aren't they? The territory, and the South Sydney forwards just not having to go back at all. They haven't done any defence inside their own half in this second period. Manly ill-disciplined that time. And now South on play one up towards the 40-metre line in Manly's half. A real chance to find more points. Oh, great tackle. Trebojevic underneath.
Grossamy, he's a man that goes to ground and loses the ball. Well, was that Ben or was that Jake?
It's nights like these that that you can really force your way into an NRL side when you make a statement like Ben Trebojevic has. Been terrific tonight.
Jacob Sykes in that tackle as well, but Ben is putting up an excellent case. For Manly here, he's probably in their best 17, but they've got Kilmatualungi, of course, at the club now, and Hamole Olakau'atu. Yep. So that's one area they are well stocked. Now here's Toby.
Oh, great ball.
This is nice. This is their first chance. Fletcher Myers puts the foot down and gets it away for Toby. And every time you think Manly at Gonzville, they come up with a try and they tie it up.
He's electric, young Jake Toby. The way that he gets across the grass, the speed is sensational. And it was great work from Fletcher Myers down the far side of the field as well. Did a great job to get on the outside of the Manly defence. You can see here, Fafita, well, he gets the offload there. Toby skipping across defenders, lovely vision, great execution. Out to Myers and then just pushing back on the inside. The speed to get there and capitalise on the opportunity that he created earlier was nice work. Jake Toby's had some great moments in this game. Try confirmed.
And Myers, we haven't seen much of him. He hasn't had many chances, but what we've seen has been class.
Very good. Yep, very, very good. He's been Fletcher Myers. Only young, only 19 years of age, as I said, took an opportunity to leave Newcastle and come to Manly. And no doubt will put some real pressure on the likes of Brad Parker, Morgan Harper.
Yeah.
There's a real vacancy. Well, there's some opportunities there.
By the way, that's 2 competition points in the bag for Manly. That exchange got them their 5th line break and their 5th try.
Well, it's a clean slate for a lot of these players. New coach, new coaching staff. They lost 7 on the trot last year to finish the season. So there has to be some changes.
Well, could you see Ben Trebojevic going out to the centres? He seems so bulky now.
Yeah. Well, I think he's really shown tonight just how damaging he can be playing second row, and the fact that his endurance, Dan. You mentioned blokes like Kilmatualungi, Hamole Olakau'atu, dynamic players, but to have the value of a back rower that can play long minutes can really help your interchange rotation as Johns.
Well, they haven't done him any favours with these tries. They seem to be all scored in the corner. 24 all, 5 tries to 4. Jake Duke.
Jake Toby's got 2 tries tonight. He had a great season in the New South Wales Cup last year, as I mentioned, scoring 9 tries, and he is set up here by young Fletcher Myers. He's only 19 years old. He's a development player at the Seagulls, Indigenous background, as Mick mentioned, a Newcastle Knights junior, and he has played really well for the Manly SG Ball and Jersey Flegg teams in 2022. Showed some great speed there. He could be one to watch.
Just seeing Chan Kum Tong come from the field. He's had a great, really, really good night. Should be really proud of himself. Oh!
He's done all right, you know, Jackson Ferris. He was dead to rights, but somehow batted it back at the death. Watch his replay. Oh! Oh, Tuapolotu straight over the top of Jacob Gagai. There's a rare offload. That might be the second offload of the night. And a penalty. Well, now it's Manly's turn to have a good period.
Yeah, real momentum swing in the game here. Gagai that time just giving away the penalty, and it came on the back of a powerful run from Tuapolotu, who's shown his class here tonight. And a lovely offload to young Jake Toby, who is really sniffing around, recognising that some players are starting to get tired. Fatigue's really set in, and his speed and footwork troubling the opposition.
We're miles away, but there's no golden point. Might have been some confusion there. No golden point tonight. Now here's Sykes. Still got 22 minutes to go, and you fancy there's a few more points to come. As Johns into the line there off that ball, which sees Johns 26 metres out. Now the impressive Viliami Fafita on tackle number 4. He's left a South player down there, but that's okay. Spen love it. And now Myers comes out, and this time it's a knock-on.
Yeah, really fast play here from Cooper Johns down that left-hand side of the field. The short side, got down there, skipped defenders. Nice pass to Fletcher Myers. Got him on the outside of the his opposite defender. Just unable to hang on to the ball in collision there. But nice work from Johns, again, creating chances for his outside men.
This is an outstanding completion rate. Outstanding.
Yeah, given how warm it is and how much sweat you can see on the players.
May fade a little, but to this point, excellent. It's Tom Carr. It was like a while ago that he scored his try. Denied another. Jackson Rame, Lebanese international, played 3 games at the World Cup, including against Australia. Carlo, 19 years of age. Here's a 40-20 attempt, perhaps. It's got some angle, hasn't quite got the distance. Jake Toby. Christian Tuipulotu.
He did well, Tuipulotu. Recognised that Toby had been caught over near the sideline, worked extremely hard to get back and get himself in a position to help carry the footy.
It's Joe Tramontana, Italian hooker at the
There
World
you go.
Cup. And as the spread comes for Myers, he's seen plenty of it now.
It's proving quite the battle up there on the far side of the field. 2 really good young centres, Fletcher Myers and Josiah Karapani.
We need to see Karapani at some point in the clear to see what he's got. Oh, there's a good bumping run. Tuimaalo Vaiga.
He's knocked out huge minutes.
Fainu, you're not kidding. You are not kidding me. Johns. Straight into the corner here for control.
Well, they can't afford to give away a penalty here, Manly. They've swung the momentum back in their favour, and they've got South Sydney finally in this second half coming off their own line.
Been their downfall, 6-2 against Manly in the penalty department. Carlo. Fulton down low, Sykes up top. Oh, that's a loose ball, and they're going to pay the price. So just the 6th error of the night for South Sydney. And Manly now gifted a full set inside Bunny's territory.
Yeah, Tramontana there out of dummy half. The no-look pass, just a fraction out in front. Sorry, Romano Cook it was, out of dummy half. And the pass just fractionally in front. Turnover now and Manly, a great opportunity there. We see tomorrow's fixtures. There's some good footy on tomorrow, Dan.
That might be the biggest day of the year on us, the biggest Super Saturday in terms of first grade games. And the 2 All-Star games, 1 o'clock from across the ditch, and then the 2 the first grade games. You can't call them NRL games. The Great St Helens are out here. Take on the Dragons, Saints v Saints. Now, here it comes to the left side where they've had success at Fainu. That's a classy pickup and a good offload. Fletcher Myers getting out of one, getting out of another. His night gets better. Manly here inside the 10. Tramontana for Johns. Subtle. Now Wilson with the grubber. And Carr is gone, and now Manly forced their first drop out of the evening.
Yeah, I've liked this from Manly tonight. The freedom of Johns to be able to swing both sides of the field and lick up with his halves partner, Wilson, who comes up with a deft short kick there. Perfectly weighted. Now it's South Sydney's turn to do some defence in their own half and on their own line. And Fletcher Myers on that far side of the field really starting to make a name for himself in this second half.
And South happy to keep defending. Oh, penalty in front.
Offside.
Now, at this point of the game, Mick, do you take the 2 and try and get yourself, well, your nose in front, or you just use it to practice some attacking moves? And
Depends how much they want the 100,000. My heart says play on. Let's go. It's pre-season. Let's get some. Let's get some more points.
I think next week, when a team knows they're in the hunt, it might be a different tone. Tramontana. Fulton. Johns. South have jammed in, and they've got away with it, and they can almost go the length here. An exchange of passes as Leon Teho goes to ground, and that's followed up by Karapani.
Should have taken the 2 there. Yeah, we see Sablu come back onto the field for South Sydney. What a night it's been for young Dion Tyapa, who leaves the field. 2 tries, set up another in an exceptional 25-minute period in the first half. Looks every bit a first grader.
It's the 23-year-old O'Neill with 2 tackles left.
Oh.
That was Fafita trying to put on a monster shot. Leon Tyapa, take a bow. Romano Cook got an unusual passing style, and it comes out of his hands. And that's the last tackle, and not the first time we've seen South go to ground on the last. So 24 apiece with 15 to go. Jake Toby
has been everywhere.
16 runs. I said about 15 minutes ago, Tui Pilotu had the most runs by miles. He's been overtaken, Christian. Jake Toby now 16 to 15. And working it back now to the middle. This is where Manly could run into a problem or two, and that is fatigue, because they've used pretty much everyone.
Yeah. Short side chance here for Manly.
It comes across silky hands as it comes out now for Tui Pilotu. That was Ferris who laid it on. There's an offload. This is Josh Stuckey, former Bulldog, and he keeps it going. Boy, this play keeps going. They'll get a bonus point for 10 offloads on this play alone. Now comes across to Myers. And we get to the last. Johns, chip and chase. Oh, and almost gets the bounce. Falls into the lap of Leon Teho.
Good contact there. Really good shot. Underneath the ball, is it Joshua Stuckey?
It's
Ben Condon back onto the field.
Speaking of players that have put in some minutes, he has too. O'Neill. Discipline good here. We haven't seen a penalty for a while. Gee, that's a big unit. Brock Gray, brother of former NRL player Aaron. 26 years of age, Brock. He's got some bulk about him. Sablu. He's got his confidence back, Toby. That was an easy one. Well, 24 all that remains. Haven't seen points since the 57-minute mark. So about 10 minutes ago, that's when Manly levelled things up. Yeah. Cameron Brown, by the way, the 16 for Manly. So I think that clears the decks. I think they've all had a crack. James Wassella in 22 is out there. He comes here now for Fulton. Gets it on Johns, Fainu, Myers. Picked up and dumped, and dangerously. Leon Teho penalised.
Okay, hang on. Take your time.
So Myers here. His head might have made contact with the ground there.
Yeah, I think it's the shoulder that actually lands right on his jaw.
Yeah, mate.
He remains on the ground, so his night probably over.
They've signalled
Was the point of the shoulder there, Mick?
The left shoulder jams his head into the ground. Look at this.
Well,
this replay will show it.
Todd Smith has got his hand to his ear, which means he's been spoken to by the bunker.
Yep.
Geez, you don't want to be down to 12 in a trial at this stage of the game when the tank is empty.
Well, it's a bit of a double whammy there for Paul Fletcher Myers. His head hits the ground first, and then the right shoulder comes into the head as well.
So I might remember much of tonight, but he's been excellent, Fletcher Myers. A lot to like about his performance. the way, nearly 10,000 here. That's an outstanding crowd for trial football. No home team. Good stuff, Central Coast. But here we go. Here we go.
Okay, you've lifted him, put him into a dangerous position. You're in the bin.
Well, I tell you what, if they win this, South, they're going to earn it. They're going to play the next 10 minutes with just 12 men. Leon Terhor, unfortunate, didn't get onto the second half, and his night not quite over, but just about.
Yeah, looks like Ben Trebojevic, you're right, Dan. He's going to get an opportunity to play in the centres. Physically, if you've just joined us, Ben Trebojevic has clearly added some muscle over the summer. He has really been physical, aggressive, and been a handful in the second row tonight. Earned himself a spell, but now with the injury of Myers, goes out into that left centre position.
Well, the way Manly have raced up to 9 offloads, 1 away from a bonus point, so they can fill up on the bonus points with 1 more offload. Here's Ben Condon. They're worried about the win, though. But if they do get that point and win the game, they're the first team to get the maximum 15 points. Now it's the left side, which they have profited from. That's just class. And the put down from Cameron Brown. Manly are back in front. Well, that is just too good. And it didn't take them long to expose South Sydney's one-man disadvantage.
Yeah, nice work again from the halves combining, but it's Jake Toby, and it's the acceleration of the little pocket dynamo, the fullback. Just watch this on the replay. Nice work there from the halves, and then all of a sudden just cutting off that left foot. Young Jake Toby sliced his way through. This will show it beautifully. Great work. Johns turns the corner, squares up the line, but it's Toby that cuts off that left foot. And a lovely pass.
It was Harrod and Wilson up to the line, Mick, and then Johns, then Toby.
Great put down.
He had work to do there, Cameron Brown, that he's got there.
Yeah, very, very well.
He was
really good finish.
The Manly locals will remember, the ones, the real hardcore fans, he was pivotal in their first Harold Matthews Cup win. Only a few years ago. They've been in that Matthews Cup since 1970, and he scored an intercept try to finish it off.
It's a small thing, Dan, but so important with the finish in terms of how he got the ball into his left hand and the angle in which he put the footy down. And that's a natural finisher there. Great work. Johns now, and not another easy kick. Look on the sideline. He's under duress. The locals.
Yeah, they're saying Cooper #1, Manly #1. Johns. Oh, have some of that, kiddies. 30-24. Yeah. Tell that young man it's a trial. Yeah, I think he's okay. He's okay. Is that his puffer just giving it to him in the Manly T-shirt?
Yeah, well, if you just joined us, South raced out to a pretty comprehensive lead, and then it was Cooper Johns that got the Manly side back into it at half-time. They were in front, and then South Sydney came out and had a tremendous period after half-time. Really high completion rate. Blake Taft scored a great try. And Manly had to do it the hard way, but they've hit back with a couple of tries, and it's been young Jake Toby for them that's caused havoc with his speed and footwork.
5 of the last 6. 5 of the last 6 tries. 6 tries to 4. This could end up being quite a decisive win if they finish it off Manly.
That's a bonus point too for Manly. 5 tries.
Yeah. Yeah, they locked that one away. Did they get the offload? I don't think they did. Someone tell them there's still 1 away.
Oh, play here.
Trebojevic. Oh, drawing it, passing. Jake Toby. Oh, he's just thumped that into the chest of his man there. So that ended that little apology.
Yeah, I'm not sure Cameron Brown was ready for this. He goes the Benji Mars flick pass. Back on the inside looking for Richards.
He did too.
Look, he's just beaming with confidence, and it was too good for Brown.
Yeah, Jake needs to say, Pat Richards would have caught that.
Oh, what a moment that was.
Well, they're only a converted try down. That's Jackson Rame in the 19. There's about a 2-minute 40 differential. Sin bin time and game time. And out it comes here for Jacob Gagai. Slipping away from Charlie Thompson. Comes back and... Uh-oh, someone's hurt there. Nope, he's okay. Harrison Wilson gets up. Gray pummeling his way to within 5 metres. 2 tackles left here. Cook keeps it going. Mate. Dead end here for Sablu. But now he gets through. Sablu scores! Jared Sablu. And South have a chance to tie it. And that is a bonus point for them.
Yeah, Jared Sablu spent some time down at the nation's capital and been applying his trade. After leaving the Raiders in the New South Wales Cup, they go out to this right-hand side. It runs into a dead end, but Sablu just skips some defenders, looking, finds a way through, gets in between a couple of Manly defenders and then just accelerates to the line. And now the game takes another momentum swing, and South Sydney through Jared Sablu that get themselves with an opportunity to draw level once again.
The easiest put down either. Well done, Jared Sablu. He's at the Mounties. Pritchard these days. So here we go now, and Sablu can tie it up. He's 10 in from touch. There's 7 minutes left here. It's good stuff from South, 12 on 13.
Yeah.
They only have 3 line breaks, so just the 1 point. Look, it's not really going to matter. If the team doesn't win, they're not going to win the comp. In fact, if it ends 30-all, that probably knocks out both these sides. But there's 100 grand up for grabs. Might as well try and take it. And no good, but they've got 7 minutes or just under. 30 to 28. Jake Jude.
Jared Sablu, he's a 22-year-old. He's an Innisfail boy, actually, and he played 1 game of first grade so far in his career. He got on for 1 minute against the Sharks back in round 20 of 2020, but he had a solid season in the New South Wales Cup last year playing for the Mounties. 6 tries, he ran 85 metres on average a game, and he shows his running game there to get over for a try. Just couldn't convert his own try, and South Sydney still trailed by 2.
6 tries to 5 in favour of Manly. Biggest lead of the night, Souths by 14. That was run down very quickly by Manly in a short space of time. And since then, it's been nip and tuck. Really good try. Really entertaining stuff here on this Friday night. Now, they do have to get the 1 try here, but they're not going to get an offload on this occasion. 15 is O'Neill. Romano Cook. Putting it on for Hugo Patterson. Cook again. 40-20 would be nice right about now. Not the angle, though, from Sablu. And here's the Energizer Bunny, Jake Toby.
Oh, one-on-one steal.
And
big play.
That could be a match-winning play. Oh, not quite. And there's a knock on, but they're going to challenge. Sablu wants to challenge.
Yeah,
but correct me if I'm wrong. Have they not used their challenge, or did they get? No, they've used their challenge, haven't they, South? So.
No, they got it early in the first half.
That was Sipley.
Yeah.
Did they get that?
They did.
Okay. Ben Lovett there with the one-on-one steal, but unfortunately they don't cash in on it.
Hard to argue with that one too.
I'm told by Fox Sports Stats if the challenge is dried up, it's over.
It's over.
Ben Trebojevic. If you want to take up the argument with him, be my guest. I mean, you and I should have remembered it, to be honest, Mick, but we're in trial form too.
We're not match fit yet, Dan. They'll understand. The powers to be.
James Wassili.
We'll know by Monday.
Don't worry, the cricket's on. They're not watching this. Here's John. So, oh, they've just opened the door. That's a knock on. It's a knock on. Oh, look at players now cramping up. This is where it gets really testing. Carlo's only been on since half time, and he's cramping up in the background. And Jake Toby not quite connecting this time as Trbojevic had a little bow peek at Leonard Skelton, the 22 for South. Well, 4 minutes to be a hero here.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game, been a great game. We've seen some wonderful tries from both sides, some individuals really stepping up and making a name for themselves on the big stage for the first time. And now, great work here from Gagai, getting on the outside to Pilotu, who just holds on.
Shannon Gardner in the 21 for South. So they've now used all of their 24 players. Jackson Rame, oh, play on! No, the second one was a knock-on. The second one was a knock-on. Almost for South, but they've done well, South, because there's only a minute or 40 seconds left. With that man in the bin, Leon Teho, the winger, and they're still in it. They're still in it. We're back here next Friday, by the way. Another double header. Why not? Jeez, if they're going to come out in droves like this, keep coming.
Yeah, they love their footy up here on the Central Coast, and the surface, being down at ground level earlier today, is like carpet. It is in exceptional condition, made really short for the Matildas game that's coming up soon. But you're right, a couple of weekends of footy up here. It is a wonderful venue.
So John whacked by Lovett. He's had a good last few minutes. The Parks spaceman. Ben Trbojevic. Chin Tong back into the game here for these closing minutes. Players continue to cramp up. Harrison Wilson. Oh, that's extravagant, and it's forward. So that is not all that expensive, really. It's South Sydney ball, but they're 80 metres from the try line. But 13 on 13. So there are chance. And you know they'll take the Charity Shield seriously and present a pretty good side. So they're in the hunt if they can pick off a try here. Ben provides, but Manly not panicking. Minute 35 left. Sablu getting it on. Deep ball, and now there's a chance as it's a loose one, and it's cleaned up by O'Neill. Oh, it's called a knock-on. It's called a knock-on, and again, remember, no challenge.
South's going to get the challenge here. Was that touched by Manly? He had a chance to play early, and let's have a look on the replay. Oh, no.
You need one more for time off.
Oh.
Shot clock on.
Spectacular dive to Imago Vaiga as he contorted himself away from the ball. So last minute here, they just need to be careful of the one-on-one steal, I guess, and nothing silly. And they'll get themselves a win. Tuipulotu, 18 runs. 158 metres before that one. Tuimalu Vaiga. 2 tries. 2 tries for Jake Toby. 1 for Zach Fulton. 1 for Cameron Brown. Fair bit to like about this. Josh Stuckey. Yeah. Anthony Seibold. He'll be very happy with
Good contact
this
there.
opening gambit. Manly take on Canterbury, by the way, in NRL Week 1, and then they've got a bye. It's a strange old start to them, but a good chance. Canterbury will see it that way too. Very competitive game coming up, you'd think, there. Now there's a kick which should close the curtain on this game. Well, I'll tell you what, if we get a few more games like that over the next fortnight, we're in for a good time, a real good time. The Manly Sea Eagles join Cronulla and the Warriors with 14 points on the competition ladder. They fell one offload short, although Supercoach players know those things get recalibrated, so watch this space. You never know. They might find a sneaky 10th offload in there somewhere. But more importantly, they get through their first trial. Fletcher Myers was concussed, but no other major injury worries for South Sydney. Hame Sele, that is a concern, the calf injury with their first game in the regular season, 22 days away. So the Bunnies, a double to Dion Tyapa. That's their highlight of the night, his performance, the number 6, Tom Carr. Blake Taff, again, excellent stuff from him, as you would think he's gone a long way to locking up that number 14 jersey if it wasn't already locked up. And the other try, Jarrett Sablu, which gave South Sydney a chance to tie it up with a potential conversion, but he missed, and that left Manly winners by 2 points.